2-1 England. It is incredibly good effort from England. You've got to say that it was a top-notch effort from Ben Stokes, from Jofra Archer, from Brydon Cars, and from Chris Wokes. Just at the stroke of punch, Chris Wokes getting that edge of Nitish Reddy, that frustrating partnership for England, which had continued for about an hour. Nitish Reddy 50 odd balls, and Ravindra Jadeja 50 odd balls, trying to steady the ship, had gotten about a 30 run stand, but that's when that edge, and it was over. 2 more balls, it'll be what, 15, 20 more minutes, maybe half an hour, it's done for India. 2-1 it is at the moment. One can absolutely say that. No chance of rain, cloudy and overcast, absolutely no prediction for rain in the afternoon. So England winning the home of cricket, and deservedly so, Gargi. That ball to Rishabh Pant, as Stuart Broad was telling us in that lift, was a beauty. And then that ball to KL Rahul, it became a kind of an off break because of the wicket, the ball coming in.
Yeah.
Rahul could not anticipate. I don't fault the Indian batters because, the pitch with cracks and doing that much, it is impossible to bat when you get balls like that. No extravagant shots or anything, and nor did the Indians give up. So this was at 81 for 7. People thought, okay, 85 all out or 90 all out. There was resistance from Jadeja and Nitish Reddy. That's what you wanted to see. England deserved winners as a better team.
Look, England just played better cricket than India. That's what it is. They were top-notch with their bowling. Jofra Archer, the spell that he bowled. Brydon Cast from one end. Ben Stokes as well, giving in everything that he had. He did not have to bowl that long, yes, but the intensity never died from him. Never, ever. After every single delivery, they were onto the batters. They were in their face, clapping and giving them verbal. The intensity never died down from England, and you have to give them that. The fact that, if Rishabh Pant lost his wicket trying to slog or sweep or lap or whatever, we would have come out and said that Rishabh Pant threw his getaway. But that was honestly a beautiful, unplayable delivery from Jofra Archer.
Yeah, and he tried the counter punch also.
He tried
that one-handed boundary.
And he was doing that time again. I think was struggling with that hand or with that finger.
But he had the right intent. I mean, the moment the ball drifted down leg, he flicked it for 4. Then he charged and got that boundary also. Straight drive that through mid-on. That ball was literally unplayable. Coming in through the line, he played for the line, and then deviation. Once that happens, for a left-hander, when that ball is angling into you, and that ball was angling in front, and then the deviation happens at the very last moment, it's unplayable.
And Jofra Archer bowls very, very well to left-handers. And like you said, yes, Jofra Archer was bowling incredibly quick. Every single delivery was more than 90 miles per hour. You can tell that it was not only quick, but also the deviation that happened at the very last moment after pitched is something you cannot predict. And honestly, you can't be mad at the Indian batters at this point. You can't say that they gave their wicket away. You can't say that they played bad cricket. You can only England outplayed them. That's flat out. That's the truth.
That's how sport is. I mean, on a wicket which is deteriorating, which is offering that kind of assistance now because of the cracks. The cracks have opened up. That's the KL Rahul ball. In normal circumstance, will never deviate that much. The ball from Ben Stokes coming in through the pitch, I mean, because of the crack, it kind of came like an off break. Kept coming. Rahul was big time into that shot, and then it just beat the batter and hit the pad. For a second, I thought maybe height, and maybe umpire's call. Unfortunately for India, wasn't the case. The umpire did not, without thinking that it had actually hit him above the knee roll. It had hit him above the knee roll. That could have been an option, but then, it's not umpire's call and gone. But there is plenty there on the last day wicket. Something we've been continuously telling you, that day 4, day 5, the wicket opens up. Opportunities open up and the game moves at a blistering pace, and England making the most of winning that toss. India had to bat last, and the moment India had to bat last, it would have been difficult. Of all the wickets, the one wicket of Jaiswal was a stupid shot, was a poor shot, but other than that, Gill got a good ball, Nair got a good ball, Akashdeep not counting, Pant got an absolute beauty, Rahul got a fabulously good ball, even Nitish Reddy, that ball, that last second it deviated. That last second, Nitish Reddy was playing for the ball. Last second it pitches and then just a shade out. I mean, it has been an outstandingly good bowling effort from England. One has to credit them for the intensity, the word that Gargi used, the commitment to the cause. They knew that India would have taken this. They knew that had they lost Lords, after losing Edgbaston, this could well become a series too far for them if they lost 2. They knew that this is a match they absolutely could not afford to lose. They showed enough heart, enough passion, enough intensity to get it back. You've got to give credit to England, no discredit to India, because India will also know that they are close. They are very, very close to England. That whole debate about who picks 20 wickets is done. You can bowl England out for 190, you know
Absolutely.
that. That debate about 20 wickets was done in Edgbaston. That debate about 20 wickets has been done in Lords. So you know that you can pick wickets. And Manchester, I was checking 14-day forecast. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be cloudy. Almost all the days in Manchester, 20th onwards, that entire week, there will be some rain. There is cloud. There will be assistance on offer. Faster bowlers will come into play. So there will be everything to play for in Manchester. This series, yes, England ahead, but don't rule India out. I've said this countless times. Today morning was all England. Yesterday afternoon was all England. But all through the series has been like that. Up, down, up, down, up, down.
Much
India
like the Lord's pitch.
Yeah, I mean, enough intensity from India. You've got to recalibrate that Karun Nair position. Is that a weak link? Will you get in Sai Sudarshan and sort your number 3? Will you play Dhruv Jurel? Is Rishabh Pant going to be 100%? These are important questions that will confront India.
Be asked.
What about Jasprit Bumrah? Do you play Jasprit Bumrah at Manchester? Do you hold Jasprit Bumrah back for Oval? Because now that you're 2-1 down, you've got to play him in Manchester. You've got to play him in Manchester and try and equalize and then see what happens on the Oval and not keep him back. Because suppose you lose Manchester 3-1 finished, then there is no point in Jasprit Bumrah coming back for the Oval. So you go in with your premier bowler, you go in hard at Manchester, and Manchester you will get assistance. Everybody knows that Manchester with the cloud and with everything and Old Trafford, you will get assistance. So play a Jasprit Bumrah there. Will you play a Karun Nair at 3? Will you change there? Does Dhruv Jurel come in with the Pant injury factor? Does Pant play solely as a batter? Plenty of questions will stare at India. But for the moment, 2-1 England, and the morning genuinely belong to the real effort that England put in.
100%. And again, you have no... I wouldn't have any complaints from the Indian batters. Their heart was right. Their intent was right. I think Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul. Rishabh Pant only got 9 runs, but the kind of intent that he went in was right.
Absolutely.
It was perfect, and we were having this chat with Stuart Broad in the lift, and he said, he suggested that Rishabh Pant should have come out after Ravindra Jadeja. So that was an option there, but we discussed this in the morning. See, if India had done something like that, it would have looked like a defensive move. And
I
don't have any complaints with the way that India approached this at all. That's what I'm saying, that England just had a better bowling attack today. They outplayed India, and India could not deal with the kind of bowling that they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, and now in hindsight, one might say you could have protected Pant. Why not Jadeja? He would have blocked 10 overs and then Pant. But then Pant has as good a defense as anybody in world cricket. Pant's defense is not like a wicketkeeper batter who comes and slogs. Pant's defense is absolute A-class. Anybody, and I can tell you this, Pant's defense is rock solid. Unfortunately, that was a beauty, an absolute peach that got Pant. Unfortunate for India that it happened at that point. Jofra Archer bowled a great spell. That Washington Sundar ball, I thought, slightly held up, which is why he was early into that shot, and then that cotton bowl also showed great effort on the part of Jofra. One-handed catch, diving to his right and all of that stuff.
That was a great athleticism from Jofra Archer, and the fact that he held on to that is incredible from him. Remember, this is him coming back after 4 years, 2021 February, and since then he comes back and bowls his heart out in his comeback match and actually makes a huge impact, and now it's going to go in a winning cause. So Jofra Archer, good on him for the way that he made his comeback in Test cricket. It was not an easy journey, I'm sure.
That call, the Washington Sundar call ahead of Nitish Reddy, again, you take it because Washington Sundar has better defense.
Yes,
exactly. When you think in hindsight, you think of all these questions. But again, we thought Washington Sundar, it is acceptable because at that point in time, you needed some overs out. And Nitish Reddy came at a time when the ball was slightly older. Washington Sundar, that experiment failed. Maybe in hindsight, you could have said, array, left, right. Why not Nitish Reddy? In the first innings, Nitish Reddy and Jadeja added those runs. After that, Washington Sundar came out and added those runs. What was the reason for changing the batting order and promoting Sundar ahead of Jadeja? But, these things...
Again, there were no bad calls. There were no bad calls in this test match. The only thing is, India was outplayed. And the sooner you accept that fact, as fans, is the better.
I don't think my India data is not working. See if you can get questions from there.
Look at it over here. Okay, drop catch by Rahul cost the match. It all comes circles back to KL Rahul for some reason, no matter what. India is the worst team. You've just won at Edgbaston. This is a series. Of course, there will be losses, there will be wins. Come on. Dawes is saying Indian people should stop watching cricket until and unless Gautam Gambhir is removed. If you don't do that, you will be humiliated. What happened? Now tell me the kind of comments that we were getting after Edgbaston versus now.
This is going to happen. This is going to happen, and come on. I mean, KL Rahul choked again under pressure.
Choked.
Okay.
Tell me who would have played that delivery.
I don't think he choked. I mean, you and I can have a difference of opinion and disagreement. I thought it was a genuinely good ball.
It was a
great delivery. Let's put it this way. This is English conditions. England's home. They are supposed to do better. That's why home advantage. They've done well. If India loses one, I had heard after Leeds 5-0. I am now hearing Gautam Gambhir should be removed. KL Rahul starts to choke. So every time you lose a match, everybody becomes trash. Cannot happen, right? Yes, there is one point about the 32 extras in the second innings, and that kind of impacted India. Multiple times, Dhruv Jurel wasn't able to anticipate the swing, and it went too much and went for 4. Many buys happened, also from the part of the bowlers. But you see, today morning also, Jofra Archer gave a wide 5. The people with extra effort, Mohammad Siraj, couple of times it happened. You can say all of this stuff, but every time, the moment
why are you giving excuses? These are not excuses.
What excuses? Then you won't lose. Then you go and win every match in sport. Does it happen to you?
match थोड़ी जीतोगे यार.
कोई chance नहीं है. I'm not sad. When they left Indian shores, people said 5-0. After third, they are 2-1, still have a chance. Exactly. And yes, batting what? What is the question? Under pressure needs to be looked at. Karun Nair.
100%.
That's a constructive point and a well-made point from Debayon. Absolutely well-made point from Debayon.
And you know what, Boria? I think there were in my mind, there are two turning points in this match, especially when it comes to India batting. First of all, when India lost that toss, we kept saying over and over again, India bats fourth session, it will be difficult. The second thing is Karun Nair wicket was a game changer. I think that's where England sort of opened the floodgates. I think that's where where the domino effect started happening. If that hadn't happened, if Karun Nair had played the day out.
There are 4 turning points for me.
Rishabh.
First and foremost, not today. If you see in the context of the match, you had, and again, we are going back to Leeds, you had the match at one point, you gave it away. Here also, that run out KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant for me was the biggest turning point.
Yes.
Because India had taken complete control of the games at that point, 248 for 4, or 3 rather, 248 for 3 with Rishabh and KL, and all of a sudden that needless run out allowed England to come in. When you see in the context of the game, it was a massive moment because otherwise India could have taken a lead, and a lead on this wicket pushed England back. Then the 4th innings becomes, because see, if you chase 200 in a 4th innings, it will become difficult. If you take a first innings lead of even some runs, automatically you have that cushion in the 4th, which is what India needed. That was number 1. Number 2, when Ravindra Jadeja and Nitish Reddy were or Washington Sundar was batting, at that point India seemed to be taking a 30-40 run lead. That tickle of the leg side of Ravindra Jadeja, extremely unlucky, was turning point number 2. Turning point number 3 for me, yes, again, I mean, I have to say this, India could have take that Rahul catch. Obviously, people will say was a big moment, and it is a absolute fact that it was a big moment, that England could have been 60 short, 387. But when I see the overall game, these kind of things, I mean, when I see England, they've also missed 4 or 5 runouts. They've also dropped a couple of catches. But so in the context of the match, England bowled better in the 4th innings in good bowling conditions. That's what happened. They won the toss, used it to the brim. They used the conditions on day 5 beautifully on a wearing out pitch, the deteriorated pitch, plenty of cracks, allowing movement, allowing the bowlers to get through. I thought was a great game of cricket. India stayed in the hunt. 2 great deliveries in the morning. I absolutely don't see any reason to rubbish this team.
No.
Absolutely don't rubbish this team. You've seen a comeback in Leeds after Leeds. I absolutely again say this. Ask your questions like Debayon did of Karun Nair. Ask your questions if you need a Dhruv Jurel because if Pant's injury doesn't heal. But do not abuse and do not rubbish this team. They have played quality cricket in this series for literally 14 days. Literally 14 out of the 15 days if you take this series. In every match going into day 5. Leeds day 5. Edgbaston day 5. Lords day 5. Every game going into day 5, India has stayed competitive. India has stayed in the hunt. Today morning also, India was in the hunt. That I think is decent enough. Yes, you want to win. Everybody wants to win. Come Manchester, you will once again, I'm telling you, once again you have a chance. So 100%. It's absolutely essential because Manchester will help the bowlers. And you've seen that your bowlers are good enough to open England up. Absolutely good enough to open England up. Shubman Gill will be under pressure again to perform. 2 innings failures after 2 great test matches for him. The Indian captain will want to make amends. Rishabh Pant, 1 unfortunate run out, 1 gem of a delivery, will want to make amends. Will Karun Nair play? KL Rahul will think about it that could he have finished this game off? Plenty of talking points and you know, plenty of things to take away from this particular game to Manchester. I honestly don't see that. Why are you giving excuses? What bloody nonsense are you talking excuses? What is an excuse, damn it? This is an analysis of cricket. If you don't understand your cricket, then shut up, man. Excuses.
Devdeep Sarkar, India lost the mental battle today. Stokes with his experience won it. Learning curve for Gill and Indian team that actions speak louder than verbal words. 2 tests now, India gave away opportunities to England.
I don't think India lost the mental battle. There was nothing mental in what India lost. That ball to Rishabh Pant, when you say mental battle, Rishabh Pant did not lose it in the mind. He got out to an absolute peach of a delivery. When you say mental battle, then that delivery to KL Rahul, I don't think it was anything to do with India losing it. Because if it was in the mind, that Ravindra Jadeja Nitish Reddy partnership
wouldn't have happened. Look at the way that
81 for 7.
And it was clear because Ravindra Jadeja is someone who does not get affected by sledging. He's got more than enough experience to take on an England, to take on a Ben Stokes. And at that point, what England was doing, is it raining?
Nah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's drizzling.
No chance. I mean, it'll go away. No chance.
It is. But the point that I'm trying to make is, it was quite apparent and evident that England was trying to target Nitish Kumar Reddy at that point with the verbal.
Of course, and he didn't give in.
He didn't give in, exactly. That's what I'm saying, that if it was about the mental battle, Nitish Kumar Reddy would have lost his wicket. Based off of that, the amount of pressure that the England fielders and Ben Stokes himself was putting on him, but he did not. And he held his nerve in the last innings as well. At that point, he was looking scratchy, he was looking ugly, he gave away multiple chances, but did not lose his wicket against a Jofra Archer and a Bryden Carse and a Chris Woakes bowling the new ball. They were bowling very, very well back then as well, but Nitish Kumar Reddy showed a lot of heart.
Of course he did. And look, 81 and I think, who was it? Somebody came up to me and said 81 and said Barbados 97. That Sachin Tendulkar captaincy 81 all out. And it has happened countless times with Indian cricket in the past where there has been a problem and you've been rolled over. 81 for 7, 85 all out. Had it been that, you would have conceded momentum there. You would have said, England would have said, you know, we rolled you over. Here, they were made to toil for 1 hour for that 8th wicket, for that 8th wicket, Nitish Reddy. That's what fight is. That's where you did not lose it in the mind. You kept there. And by the way, when Nitish Reddy got out, if you see his reaction, he was heartbroken, crestfallen. He was like putting his head up that why on earth did I edge that ball? Those 2 guys, and believe you me, those guys have hundreds in international cricket. Nitish had 100 in Australia. Jadeja has multiple hundreds. So they were actually believing.
Back-to-back half centuries.
Absolutely. And India stayed in the hunt, folks. And this is actually a very good question from Dark Knight. That no complaint with any player, but when India were in advantage and had the opportunity to shut the door on England every time they won, that is the point.
That's the point.
That is the point. That is the point.
Look, I go back to the first innings. When Mohammad Siraj was bowling absolutely beautifully, and there were how many dropped catches at that point? One was Akashdeep, but you failed to. You had the momentum, you had the pressure, but you failed to capitalize on it. You dropped multiple chances. You let Bryden Cass away with a 50, away with a half century. That lower order contribution, and we kept saying this. These are 50 runs too many.
50, 60 too many, and that's ultimately the difference.
Exactly, and that's
the difference.
It haunted you.
Exactly. I mean, you are 112 now. Add 60 more. You are 172, 20 adrift. That's what Test cricket is all about. You've got to seize your moments. That Dark Knight point is well made. You had your moment when Jamie Smith drop happened. You had your moment when Rahul and Pant were going brilliantly well. You had your moment when Jadeja and Sundar were going very, very well. You had your moment when Karun and Rahul were going very well yesterday. India had multiple opportunities to seize control, and that's what happened in Leeds. In Leeds also, 359 for 3, 430 for 3, you had your moment. 350 for 5 in the second innings, you had your moment. You could have battered England out of the game, taken control, killed it. If there is one deficiency that one is kind of seeing in India in this series, it is the inability to close the door. It is the inability to shut it down and take England out of it. The question that I had asked Shubman Gill in that presser, that, it is the lower, because India multiple times had the advantage. India is getting into those positions and then letting England come back. In Edgbaston, India kept dominating, did not let England back. No entry point for England at any point in time, and that was the dominance India showed. Sadly, again at Lords, India did have their moments. Again, India let England come back and let it slip. That's what we have to avoid. Because look, this is a team that can now, they know that they can push England. They know that they can again open it up in Manchester. They know that Jasprit Bumrah will bowl well. Mohammad Siraj is in rhythm. Akashdeep can contribute. Manchester will suit him. They know a Nitish Reddy can contribute. A Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja. They've got the balance. They've actually got the balance now. The batting also goes deep. They will have to shut it down the moment there is an opportunity, and that's the big call for England. There's a super chat.
Ashish Punna, a good test match yet again. Sweat it out in the nets, Jaiswal and Nair, and regain inspiration. In the last 4 innings, Jaiswal has scored only 58 and Nair 115. Being top order batters, we need more runs from you too. Absolutely. And I think another point here is that you need contributions from the lower order. That's the difference between India and England.
See, the truth is you will not have it. I mean, lower order contribution from a Bumrah and a Siraj and an Akashdeep, given the quality, is not happening. But the point that Ashish Punna made is totally taken. The shot that Jaiswal played was silly. You neither committed yourself, you did, and multiple times with Jaiswal, he got in, he's got out. The point that Ashish is making, sweat it out in the nets. You now know that Archer will target you with the short ball. You ये क्या हो गया? कट गया क्या ये?
I think so.
Neil, what is happening, my friend? We are back. Yeah.
Okay.
So the point that we were trying to make, is Jaiswal will know that he was cut into half by Jofra Archer. He was cut into half by Jofra Archer. And that's the problem. Jofra will target this line, pitching it on leg, angling it out. That outswing will trouble Jaiswal. Also pepper him with the short ball. He has to train ahead of Manchester. Let's take the super chat and close.
Network is very bad.
So let's take the super chat and close. KL is the only player who looked solid in this series, and especially in the match at Lords. Some lockdown kids saying he choked and up. They're idiots. If anybody says KL Rahul did not look good, doesn't understand jack shit of cricket. Let's not even get into that. India needs to be solid. Shubman Gill on a wicket that assists will have to be solid. Of course, Jaiswal has to be more solid. Karun Nair has to be more solid. Let's give credit to England. In sport, you will not win all. In sport, it is win some, lose some. England played better. England won this game. Credit to England. It's 2-1. We'll be back at the end of the game with all our analysis. How did it go wrong? The 10 points. We will be back straight after. I think about what, half an hour?
Yeah.
Half an hour. The moment the game gets done, we will be back. Thank you very much for joining. Stay tuned for the post-match show. Straight after the India innings folds up, Gargi and I are back, and we'll find a better spot for the better network. Thank you very much for watching.